Welcome everyone. Hello, how is it going? Today we're going to go over, we're halfway through the year. June 6 months in, right? I probably should have waited to the end of June, but I didn't want to. So we're going to go over the top 10 new series I've read. So this doesn't have to mean that it's brand new. It just has to mean that I never read it before, so it's new to me. So let's start off at number 10, My Hero Academia, Vigilantes. So this series I actually like a lot more than I do the main series. It follows few heroes who are actually vigilantes. They don't have their heroing license. And so we get to see kind of their side of things. However, there's also, that's the main character right down there in the bottom left. But there's also other characters from the main series who show up, like President Mike, my hero, not my hero. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyways, so yeah, we've got all of that going on. It's really cool to see All Might. It's really cool to see Eraser's backstory, which is actually in this volume here, with President Mike. But you also see a few others as well, and just also kind of how the world works a little bit more than we do in the My Hero main series, which is really one of the biggest annoyances I ever have with the main series is we just focus in on the school. It's really zoomed in on the school, but this really is a lot of world building. And look, we even have the brother right there, Mr. Runfast brother. So that was really neat too. Okay, at number 9 we have Spy Family. Spy Family is great. If you guys have never read Spy Family, I definitely recommend checking it out. It focuses on this spy called Midnight, or Lloyd, however you want to call him, as his mission is to make a family, so that way he can get intel from a spy and figure out a villain, and figure out what he's up to. It's really good. Very wholesome. They adopt a girl named Anya who has psychic powers. Lloyd marries an assassin, but doesn't realize she's an assassin. And he himself is a spy, of course. And so the daughter knows exactly who they are. They don't know who each other are, though. The assassin was okay to marry Lloyd because in this world, if you're not married, it's suspicious. It draws attention to you. And so she's usually very ditzy and airhead and has a hard time meeting people. And so she had no problem ending up with this marriage with Lloyd because she also needed to be married so that way her brother would stop harassing her. So it works out well. This next one I don't... oh no, I do have this one. Sorry. This is number 8, Die Dark. Die Dark actually just came out. It's only one volume out so far that I know of, but more have been announced, obviously. This is by the same creator who does... I like the bone. That's a bone. Same creator who does Dorohedoro. This is very good series so far. It's hilarious. The main character is 14. He looks like he's like 20-something. And, overall... the series is very interesting. It's very gory. It's very gruesome. This is one that once it becomes an anime, it will blow up just like Dorohedoro did. The Dorohedoro's anime did not blow up, which I thought was kind of weird, but the manga sure did. But yeah, this is a very interesting series. It's in space instead of Dorohedoro's kind of grunge world. It's in space grunge world, which is pretty interesting. Very cool to read. Pretty much the main character's bones will grant people a wish if they get them, but, they're obviously not very easy to get. And so he has to try to escape with his life multiple times. But it's a very interesting read, very cool, very gory. Okay, now this next one I don't have. This is Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is a very good series. I've read a lot of it, actually. It's kind of like a cheat to put it in here because I read it in webcomic form. But it still is really good. It just came out to America this year, and so I feel like it's fair to put it on this list. It's pretty much about this character who's super weak, super lame-o, And then he stumbles across this dungeon, which ends up being like triple extra difficulty with his crew. His crew gets wiped out, and he's the sole survivor. But as a sole survivor, he's granted with this nice buff that makes him gain levels very quickly. And he also gains this like shadow army, which is really cool. So yeah, this is a newer series to America, and it's definitely one worth checking out if you guys have never heard of it, though it seems impossible that you haven't heard of it. Another cool fact about it is that it's all printed in color, and it's technically a Korean manga, I suppose, because it is a webcomic. It's Korean. I think that would make it a manga, but whatever. I'm not the boss of that, so someone else is. Number 6, Hell's Paradise. This is by one of the assistants to Chainsaw Man, main creator when he was making Fire Punch, and it shows a lot. There's a lot of blood, a lot of gore in this. Essentially, and it's very pretty too. I forgot to mention that part. Essentially, what it is these killers are tasked with finding the elixir of life on this island. If they find the elixir, then they'll be given one pardon to do whatever they want and never be arrested. And so the main character wants it, Gabimaru, because he wants to, of course, go live with his wife in the quiet countryside and just not be bothered. However, other characters have very other nefarious deeds to do with it. Some people want to just kill people unlimitedly, and etc., etc. The caveat to that is they have to go around with an executioner who's supposed to keep their eye on them. And so it can only even go to one of them. It can't go to all of them. So there's no benefit in teaming up. However, they stumble across these creatures and these weird people who are able to change genders very fluidly. And also these weird monstrosity creatures that are not really human, but like they look like they're based on previous gods and monsters. So it's very interesting read. Very creepy, very cool. Definitely worth checking out if you guys have any interest in anything I just said, or even old samurai manga. This is pretty much, he's a ninja, but there's a lot of samurai in it as well. Okay, number 5. I also don't have it with me. The ones that I don't have with me are actually at my brother's place. He's borrowing them to read them because I thought they were so good he had to check them out. So this is How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. This is written by the same guy who makes Kengan Ashura and Kengan Omega. Wow. Anyways, How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift is like a educational manga about weightlifting, but it's also hilarious and it has a lot of pop cultural references to it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent manga. Very funny. I don't think you have to be a weightlifter to really get into it. The main character pretty much just wants to lose weight. She's not like trying to bulk up or turn into this ultra macho beast like in Kengan Ashura and Omega. She's just trying to like be fit so that way she can eat unlimited food. So not the best motives to get into weightlifting, but definitely very cool. It's a hilarious manga though. Definitely worth checking out. Even if you just like slice of lives, I mean, this is the manga for you. So far, there's not really a whole lot of romances, but definitely worth checking out even still. Okay, number 4. Machi Maho. I messed up and made the wrong person to a magical girl. This one, I don't know how long this has been out, but this I have been loving. I got all of the volumes that were available like right away. This is a hilarious series. Very vulgar, very crude. But the concept is essentially, this little cat thing came down to Earth and needed to make a magical girl because there was these demons around. And so, they didn't have a choice. He made the first girl he saw pretty much a magical girl. Thought she looked nice enough. Turns out she's a total delinquent. She smokes cigarettes all the time. She's totally evil. She swears and everything. And it's just great. However, when she becomes a negative girl, because she's so negative, she actually draws all the demons to her from other planets and everything like that. So they all go to Earth and they all go to her. This manga does have some nudity in it and a lot of blood and gore. I guess Hell's Paradise did as well, but this one I think is even more gory, which is kind of funny. But it's overall a very good story. It's got a ton of action. Pompadours in it. See, there's a pompadour man. That's always good. Magical girls versus magical girls are in this one. You can see that the magical outfits are totally skimpy as well. It's a total like what's the word on it? It's like a parody on magical girls, but it's also really good in its own right. So definitely worth checking this one out as well. Number 3 is Gigant. Gigant, I will not show you guys any pages of. It's by the same creator of Gantz. And Gigant actually follows around this kid who's like in love with a porn star, okay? Like he's her number one fan. It's gonna focus. Okay, it's gonna focus. Okay, I give up. Anyways, Gigant is great. Pretty much what ends up happening is there's this website where all of these kids from kindergarten and everything like that vote on what they want to happen to the world and or Japan. Whatever they vote on happens, okay? Nobody knows who's running this website or what it's about, but it's slowly becoming more and more realized to the public that, you know, whoever's voting on this website makes things happen. So, like, alien invaders show up. Big giant god of destruction will show up. Things like that. The main character, though, is really only cares about her. And she just happens to find this like, random homeless dude wearing, like, a motorcycle helmet in his underwear, just walking around town. She sees that he dies and she goes over to help him. And he gives her this like watch device. The watch device lets her grow gigantic, hence the name Gigant. Obviously though, her clothes don't grow with her. So she's totally naked the whole time in the manga. Yeah, so pretty crazy. The kid ends up, you know, dating this girl. So she ends up confiding to him about this power and everything. Definitely worth it read. I blow through these. There's, I think, 4 or 5 of them out right now. I read these maybe in 20 minutes. These are so good. There's hardly a lot of words in it. The story's really conveyed by the manga panels. And so the paneling to this manga, I really wish I could show you guys, is like really good because I get engrossed in the story. I'm like totally like following along like crazy. But definitely a great read, a total sleeper hit. I thought it was just going to be a fan servicey kind of like meh manga, you know, just boobies and butts, you know, but no, it's actually really good. I actually like it a lot and I'm very curious to see what's going on. Number 2, we have Chainsaw Man. Now, I'm sure everybody knows about Chainsaw Man. The main character ends up getting into some real trouble. And then his dog, Poochie, ends up giving him the powers of the Chainsaw Devil, because Poochie is the Chainsaw Devil. Once he gets the powers of the chainsaw, the main character is able to fight back, and he grows these chainsaws out of his limbs and his head. So that's really neato. However, he ends up getting saved. There's a lot of gore in this one, too. You guys seeing, like, a theme? But this is a Shonen Jump title, so these are all Demon's Blood, so that's okay. It's fine. Anyways, so yeah. The main character pretty much just wants to be total perverted. You know, he wants to touch a boobie. He wants to kiss a girl. You know, that's kind of his thing. Okay, that's his main goal in this manga. However, once he's saved by his little devil dog, he ends up getting also found by this girl Maki or Makima. I can't. A lot of words. Maki. Anyways, so. He ends up having to go around slaying demons so that way he can, pay his debt back to her. However, once he does that, he slowly finds himself in more and more danger. See, he just wants to touch some boobs. That's it. That's his main story. This manga is chaotic. It's crazy. It's a whole bunch of things, okay? So definitely worth checking out. If any of that sounds interesting to you. But I will say it's very gory. It's very violent. But it's also so ridiculous and crazy that it's an excellent read. I strongly recommend it. It's one of my favorites to read every week I see it coming out. It actually ended already, but there's a second part coming out soon. So I can't wait for that second part. I can't wait to catch up. Definitely crazy read, definitely amazing. And my number 1 pick probably isn't too much of a surprise. But it's going to be Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. I wanted to put Spirit Circle on here too, but like I felt like that's kind of, you know, too much Satoshi Mizukame. So I didn't. But these are kind of difficult to find, these omnibuses. They run a decent price, so definitely got to be careful if you're interested in this series. But essentially what ends up happening is this main character here is kind of done with life. You know, like life is really boring to him. He doesn't like a whole lot of things going on in life. But he meets this girl and he's kind of smitten by her, like the second he sees her. You know, and he also wakes up and he finds a lizard on him. He tells him he's a lizard knight, throws him out the window. You know, screw you, lizard. So he ends up following her. He finds out she's the princess because she just flat out tells him. And they have to go and defend the world from this thing called the Biscuit Hammer. However, the girl doesn't want to just defend the world from the Biscuit Hammer. She wants to defend the world from the Biscuit Hammer and then end the world. Because she's, you know, deathly sick, actually. And so once the world is, once the world is saved, then she will take it out with her bare hands. And, you know, otherwise she'll die because she's sick and there's no cure for her disease. She's only alive right now because of the princess power. So she wants to be able to destroy it. However, you know, there are other knights besides just him. So there's a bunch of other animal knights as well, and they're all trying to protect the earth. Meanwhile, the lizard knight is the only one trying to destroy it. So he calls her his Lucifer, because she's like the devil trying to destroy the world. And the Biscuit Hammer is literally a floating biscuit hammer in the sky. So yeah, definitely a great read. They have to fight these golem things. The golems will actually like kill them. They will not do fun stuff to them. Here's a picture of the Biscuit Hammer. No, that's not a picture of the Biscuit Hammer. Anyways, the Biscuit Hammer is just in the sky. It's literally just there. Definitely strongly recommend reading this series. It's a romance. It's a coming of age tale. It's supernatural. They have these weird abilities. One lets the main character kind of float around and pick things up like telekinesis. So it's very cool. And then the princess has like super strength, speed, jumping, etc. Healing. So yeah, definitely an excellent read. Strongly recommend it. If you guys have never heard of it, now's your chance. Check out this manga as soon as you can. It's amazing. Anyways, that's it for my top 10 best like new series to me that I've read. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. And just so everyone can see it one last time, here you go. Of course, missing the manga that I don't have, but they pretty much go right here. Right between Hell's Paradise. See? Just like that. That's how it would look. So nice. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, leave a comment down below. Tell me what kind of things you want to see from me next. But otherwise, I hope everyone has a nice day. Thanks for watching. Bye.